For decades, the Krill Empire had cast a long, dark shadow across the galaxy. Ruthless and expansionist, they subjugated countless worlds, draining them of their resources and enslaving their populations. Earth, once a beacon of human progress, was now just another colony, its skies choked with Krill warships, its cities patrolled by heavily armed Krill sentinels. The spirit of humanity, however, remained unbroken, smoldering beneath the surface like embers waiting for a spark. Commander Elias Thorne was a name whispered in hushed tones, a figure shrouded in both admiration and suspicion. Once a high-ranking officer in the Krill administration, Thorne had seemingly embraced the alien regime, earning their trust and enjoying privileges few humans could even dream of. But beneath the veneer of collaboration lay a carefully constructed deception. Thorne had witnessed firsthand the Krill's cruelty and the suffering they inflicted upon his people. The guilt gnawed at him, fueling a secret resolve to strike back. In the hidden corners of Earth's sprawling urban centers, resistance cells began to emerge, united by their shared hatred of the Krill and their burning desire for freedom. Thorne, using his position within the Krill structure, secretly funneled resources and information to these groups, orchestrating the coordinated rebellion from the shadows. He knew that a direct confrontation with the Krill's superior military power would be suicidal. They needed an edge, a weapon that could level the playing field. That weapon came in the form of an ancient alien artifact, unearthed during a routine Krill excavation in the Siberian wilderness. The artifact, a crystalline structure pulsating with an unknown energy, was unlike anything Thorne had ever seen. Initial Krill analysis yielded nothing, dismissing it as a relic of a primitive, long-dead civilization. But Thorne suspected otherwise. He managed to divert the artifact to a hidden research facility, where a team of trusted human scientists began to unravel its secrets. Dr. Eris Thorne, Elias's estranged brother and a brilliant xenoarchaeologist, led the research team. After weeks of painstaking analysis, Eris made a breakthrough. The artifact was a key, a gateway to a technology developed by a precursor race known as the progenitors. According to the fragmented data recovered from the artifact, the progenitors had created a system called Chimera, a revolutionary technology capable of adapting and evolving to counter any threat. It was the weapon humanity desperately needed. The Krill, growing suspicious of Thorne's activities, began to tighten their grip. Thorne knew that time was running out. He assembled a small elite team, including his brother Eris, the hardened resistance fighter Anya Volkov, and the tech specialist Ben Carter. Their mission: to secure the remaining progenitor data caches scattered across Earth, the keys to fully understanding and activating Chimera. It was a dangerous gamble, one that could mean the difference between freedom and eternal enslavement for humanity. Under the cover of darkness, Thorne and his team embarked on their mission, venturing into the heart of Krill-controlled territory. They faced relentless patrols, treacherous terrain, and the constant threat of betrayal. But with each obstacle they overcame, their resolve grew stronger. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for the future of humanity, for the chance to reclaim their world and their freedom from the iron grip of the Krill Empire. Their journey had just begun, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. The Siberian wilderness proved to be a formidable challenge, even for Thorne's experienced team. Blinding snowstorms and treacherous ice fields tested their endurance, while Krill patrols constantly threatened to expose their mission. Anya, a master of stealth and close-quarters combat, used her skills to guide the team through the shadows, evading the Krill's watchful eyes. Ben, with his expertise in electronics and hacking, disabled surveillance drones and disrupted communication networks, creating temporary windows of opportunity. Despite their efforts, the Krill were closing in. A Krill scout ship detected their energy signature near an abandoned research outpost, triggering a full-scale alert. Thorne knew they couldn't outrun the Krill forever. They had to find the progenitor data cache and decipher its secrets before it was too late. The outpost, once a state-of-the-art research facility, was now a crumbling ruin, ravaged by time and neglect. Inside, they discovered remnants of the progenitors' advanced technology, hinting at their incredible scientific achievements. Eris, his eyes gleaming with excitement, began to analyze the data fragments recovered from the central computer. "I found something," Eris announced, his voice filled with anticipation. This outpost was dedicated to the study of Chimera. It seems the progenitors were experimenting with its potential applications, pushing its boundaries to the limit. The data revealed that Chimera was more than just a weapon. It was a revolutionary technology that could adapt and evolve, granting its users unparalleled abilities. The progenitors had envisioned Chimera as a tool for progress, a means to overcome any challenge, but their research had been cut short. A catastrophic event, a galactic war, had led to their demise, leaving their knowledge scattered across the stars. Eris worked tirelessly, piecing together the fragmented data, while Thorn and the others stood guard, fending off the relentless Krell attacks. They were outnumbered and outgunned, but they refused to yield. They knew that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. Finally, after hours of intense effort, Eris made a breakthrough. He had unlocked the primary access code for the Chimera system. A holographic interface materialized before them, displaying a complex network of symbols and equations. "This is it," Eris said, his voice trembling with excitement. "This is the key to activating Chimera. But we need a catalyst, something to initiate the process." As if on cue, a Krill assault team breached the outpost's defenses, storming into the main chamber. The team was led by a ruthless Krill commander, determined to capture the artifact and eliminate the human resistance. "Surrender now, humans," the commander boomed, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Your rebellion is futile." Thorn stepped forward, his eyes blazing with defiance. "We will never surrender to you, Krill scum. We will fight for our freedom until our last breath." A fierce firefight erupted, the chamber filled with the sound of laser fire and explosions. Anya and Ben fought valiantly, holding off the Krill forces, while Thorn protected Eris, giving him the time he needed to activate Chimera. In the midst of the chaos, Eris noticed something. The crystalline structure of the artifact was reacting to the Krill energy weapons, resonating with the same frequency. It was the catalyst they needed. "Thorn," Eris shouted, "use the Krill energy against the artifact. It will activate Chimera." A risky gambit. Thorn, trusting his brother's instincts, charged towards the Krill commander, drawing his weapon. He fired a concentrated burst of energy at the artifact, channeling the Krill's own power against them. The artifact pulsed with an intense light, bathing the chamber in a blinding glow. A wave of energy surged through the air, engulfing Thorn and his team. The Krill soldiers screamed in agony as their bodies began to convulse. When the light subsided, the chamber was silent. The Krill soldiers lay motionless on the ground, their weapons scattered around them. Thorn and his team stood unharmed, but they felt different, empowered by a force they couldn't fully comprehend. Chimera had been activated. The age of humanity's liberation had begun. The activation of Chimera sent ripples of change across Earth. Initially, the effects were subtle, almost imperceptible. Technological devices began to function more efficiently, energy consumption decreased, and scientific breakthroughs occurred at an unprecedented rate. But as Chimera's influence grew stronger, the changes became more dramatic. Human scientists and engineers, driven by an insatiable curiosity, worked tirelessly to understand and harness Chimera's power. They discovered that Chimera could be integrated into existing technologies, enhancing their capabilities exponentially. Old weapons were upgraded with adaptive energy shields, communication systems became instantaneous, and transportation methods defied the laws of physics. The Krill, sensing a shift in power, reacted swiftly and brutally. They launched a full-scale assault on Earth, deploying their entire fleet in a desperate attempt to crush the rebellion and secure the artifact. Krill warships filled the skies, bombarding cities and decimating resistant strongholds. Thorn, now imbued with Chimera's enhanced abilities, rallied the human forces. He established a centralized command center, coordinating the defense of the planet. Anya and Ben, also empowered by Chimera, led strike teams, targeting key Krill installations and disrupting their supply lines. The human forces, though outnumbered, fought with a ferocity that surprised even themselves. Chimera-enhanced weaponry proved to be devastatingly effective against the Krill's technologically superior forces. Adaptive shields deflected energy blasts, while quantum-linked weapons struck with pinpoint accuracy. In the skies, human fighter pilots, equipped with Chimera-enhanced spacecraft, engaged the Krill fleet in a deadly dance of destruction. They moved with lightning speed, weaving through enemy fire and unleashing devastating volleys of energy. On the ground, human soldiers, armed with Chimera-powered rifles, fought hand-to-hand against the Krill invaders, pushing them back block by block. As the battle raged, Thorn realized that Chimera was not just a weapon, but a force of nature. It was adapting and evolving to counter the Krill's tactics, providing humanity with the tools they needed to survive. Scientists discovered new applications for Chimera's technology, developing countermeasures to Krill weaponry and creating advanced defensive systems. The people of Earth, inspired by Thorn's leadership and the hope of a better future, united against the Krill invaders. They transformed their cities into fortresses, building barricades and digging trenches. They fought with unwavering determination, protecting their homes and their families. The tide of the battle began to turn. The human forces, bolstered by Chimera, pushed back the Krill invaders, reclaiming lost territory and liberating occupied cities. The Krill, facing unexpected resistance and increasingly sophisticated weaponry, began to falter. Thorn knew that the war was far from over, but he also knew that humanity had a chance. Chimera had awakened something within them, a spark of ingenuity and resilience that the Krill could not extinguish. They would fight for their freedom, for their planet, and for their future. The battle for Earth had just begun, and the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Despite their initial successes, the human forces faced a daunting challenge. The Krill had established a heavily fortified command center in the ruins of a major city, from which they coordinated their planetary assault. This fortress was protected by multiple layers of energy shields, automated defense turrets, and legions of Krill soldiers. A direct assault would be suicidal. Thorn and his advisors devised a daring plan. They would launch a covert operation to infiltrate the fortress, disable its defenses, and assassinate the Krill commander. It was a risky gambit, but it was their only chance to break the Krill's grip on Earth. Anya, with her expertise in stealth and infiltration, volunteered to lead the covert team. She selected a small group of highly skilled operatives, including Ben, whose technical expertise would be crucial for disabling the fortress's defenses. Under the cover of darkness, Anya's team infiltrated the city, navigating through the ruins and evading Krill patrols. They used Chimera-enhanced cloaking devices to mask their presence, moving like shadows through the streets. Reaching the fortress, Ben used his hacking skills to bypass the outer security systems. He disabled surveillance cameras and deactivated laser grids, creating a path for Anya and her team to enter the fortress undetected. Inside, they faced a labyrinth of corridors and heavily guarded checkpoints. Anya's team moved with precision and efficiency, using stealth and cunning to eliminate the Krill guards. They avoided direct confrontations whenever possible, relying on their superior skills and Chimera-enhanced abilities. After navigating through the fortress's defenses, Anya's team reached the command center. The Krill commander, a towering figure clad in advanced battle armor, was overseeing the planetary assault. Anya confronted the commander, engaging him in a fierce hand-to-hand combat. The commander was a formidable opponent, but Anya's Chimera-enhanced strength and agility gave her the edge. She dodged his attacks, countered with her own, and slowly but surely wore him down. As Anya fought the commander, then worked feverishly to disable the fortress's energy shields. He hacked into the main control system, bypassing security protocols and rerouting power. With the shields down, Thorn launched a full-scale assault on the fortress. Human fighter pilots, led by the legendary ace pilot Valeria Stone, bombarded the fortress with chimer-enhanced missiles. The Krill forces, caught off guard by the sudden attack, were overwhelmed. Human soldiers stormed the fortress, engaging the Krill in a desperate battle. Anya finally defeated the Krill commander, delivering a final blow that shattered his armor and silenced his threats. With the commander dead and the fortress defenses crippled, the Krill's control over Earth began to crumble. The human forces, inspired by Anya's bravery and the hope of freedom, pushed back the Krill invaders, reclaiming their cities and liberating their people. The tide of the war had turned decisively in humanity's favor. But Thorn knew that the Krill Empire would not give up easily. They would continue to fight for their dominance, and humanity would have to be ready to face them. The battle for Earth was far from over, but the seeds of victory had been sown.